It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
Oh, and here we go. Welcome back in to another edition of Rothman and Ice. I'm Matty Ice. CB's in the house doing his thing per usual. And to my right, ladies and gentlemen, I got a former Buckeye and a national champion by the name of Tyvis Powell.
What's going on, Matty Ice?
T, welcome back, man.
You know what? I love doing a show with you, Matty Ice. You know, I sat there and I looked at my schedule and I was like, oh, Rothman and Ice again with Matty Ice. Let's do it.
Here we are.
You know, we got to get the people what they want.
Got to. I love when you're in. Folks, thanks so much for giving us some of your time. Hope you had a great weekend. Man, we got a fun show coming at you today and in the coming days. We got a lot of action happening because football is right around the corner. I'll lay out the menu for today. 12:33, Doug Lesmerises covers OSU football for the Kings of the North podcast. He will hop on to preview this season with us. 12:48. We do it every Monday. It's a tradition around here. We will party like a Rothstar. 1:33. Dustin Schutte covers Big Ten football and Purdue football for SI. Will hop on at the bottom of the 1 o'clock hour. Then 2:33, we will talk about your Brownies with Jeff Lloyd from Locked On Browns. And just a reminder, as always, if you ever miss anything from our show, wherever you get your podcast, type in Rothman and Ice. Everything we do from noon to 3 will be waiting there for you. And don't forget to subscribe to the Rothman and Ice podcast as well. T, we're inside of a football week, man. We are here. Week 0 has arrived. You got a look on your face that I don't love, but I don't care because I'm excited. I'm excited.
Week 0. Which game are you watching? If you're so excited, tell me, how long are you going to watch any of these games?
I won't be watching long.
Okay.
I won't be watching long.
Wait, Georgia Tech's playing what?
They're playing Florida State.
That's the only one that anybody's going to be remotely excited
Game
about.
day will be there. Game day will be there. But to your point, the menu isn't very sexy right now. You know, this is like if we went to a restaurant and they invited us in for a tasting.
Yeah.
And the menu isn't fully on display yet. That's kind of what this weekend is. Like, you can get a couple of appetizers, one entree, but we don't have the full menu for you just yet. But it's in the air, okay? It's in the air. And for us football fans, starting this weekend until the Super Bowl in New Orleans, there will be college football and NFL action every weekend until we get to February.
I mean, well, football started. Well, preseason's been going on. So.
Games that count. How about that?
Okay, there you go.
Games that count. Okay.
I mean, listen, I'm going to tune in because I think that game kicks off at noon, right?
Yes.
And if that's the case, I'll be doing Fan Sports Saturday right here on the Fan. Okay. So it'll be right there on that TV, and I'll at least watch the first hour of that game.
So you got Florida State, 10th ranked in the country right now. They're taking on Georgia Tech. Shout out to our tribal chief, Romans Reigns.
Oh,
he's an alumni of Georgia Tech.
It's CB that gets me every time.
And then at 4 o'clock, you get Montana State taking on New Mexico. SMU will take on Nevada, and then Delaware State will take on Hawaii. Here's the thing. When we circle back into the next week, right, so official game week for Ohio State, the first Big Ten game we will see of the year will be Howard taking on Rutgers, and some people like Rutgers.
Rutgers is one of those programs that they really are coming along. They got bowl eligible last year. Greg Schiano, excuse me, that's how you pronounce it, Schiano, like piano. Did you know that?
No, I've always said Schiano.
I know, I learned that last year when I did the Big Ten. Mike Hall, asked him, and he said it's Schiano.
It's Schiano.
But he don't just,
okay.
Yeah.
It just doesn't correct you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyways, the way that they came on last year and they finished that season, and it's just the mindset that he has built on that team. Like, they got Kyle Monangai coming back. I think they got a new quarterback. I can't think of who it is.
It's the guy from Minnesota.
Oh, Ethan Kaliakmanis. Yeah, it took me. You know how long it took me to learn that man's name?
It's tough.
I said it like 100 times before we went on when we was at Minnesota.
Well, you better get the reps in now for the dude from Tennessee as well, Nico Iamaleava.
Say it again.
Iamaleava. He's a name I think we should need. He's electric. But you're right about Rutgers because it feels like they're kind of on their way, right?
Yeah.
And what's really working for them is you look at their schedule and you don't see Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see Michigan. You don't see Penn State.
Mm-hmm.
You do see USC on there.
See, but they
USC?
When is it? Where at
They
in the
play
season?
USC, and it'll be out in L.A.,
When?
and that will be Friday, October 25th.
Okay, so that's still fairly kind of early. Like, they would have figured some stuff out. Because I'm only asking because they're getting a new DC in there. And usually it's going to take a while to really see it.
You're talking for USC.
Yeah, USC. They got a new DC, so it's going to take a while for them to believe that his stuff works. Because that's the thing. You'll see it in camp. You'll see some success. But to truly be like, all right, this dude know what he's talking about is when you get in game.
That's fair.
And you're just like, all right, we dominating. Or something, offense is hitting us with something, and the DC said, this is the check-in adjustment we going to make. And you go out there and you nip it in the bud. All right, boom. Like, I got more faith in this defensive coach. So that part of the season, since it's like the second month of the season, they'd be roughly 7 games into the season.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot. They might be on to something
You're
now.
talking
It
about-
might be a big game.
I agree. You're talking about the DC. He comes from UCLA. D'Anton Lynn, I believe, is his name.
Yeah, he was my assistant DB coach with the Texans.
So they have
really
him over
smart
there.
guy.
And I mentioned their schedule. It doesn't include Oregon either. So no Ohio State, no Michigan, no Oregon, no Penn State for Rutgers.
Look at this.
So they may be a team that makes some noise. They may be a team that can make some noise. Zooming out from just the Big Ten, or maybe you want to stay in the Big Ten outside of Ohio State, because we're going to talk so much ball about Ohio State, in the coming days and months of the year. Is there a player? Is there a team for you that you're very intrigued by going into the season?
It is, and it has nothing to do with the fact that I do a lot of work with Jacob Wells and now Cole. But I am looking at Notre Dame this year. I know that they are huge Notre Dame fans, even though they went to Ohio State, which makes no sense to me. But anyways, know that they are huge Notre Dame fans. And I think that it's time for Marcus to really do something. Like, you've been there for a couple of years. You've established who you are. They went out, and I think they got Riley Leonard now as the quarterback, who is really good at Duke. Leader, tough dude. He fits what you would want at Notre Dame. So I'm really looking at him to see the type of season that he has. I think that they went around. Now, I know that they lost their left tackle. I think he got hurt, and he might be out for the season.
Yeah.
But I think they went out and they got some playmakers, particularly at that wide receiver spot, because I think that's the one thing they was missing, was a big-time wide receiver. And I'm not necessarily saying that they went out and got some stud at wide receiver, but I think that the talent is much better. And with that quarterback, if Riley Leonard is the dude that I think he is, he will rise the play of his athletes around him.
I like his skill set. I
do
really
too.
do like his skill set. And so you mentioned, Riley Leonard coming in. That's back-to-back years. Marcus Freeman goes and gets an experienced guy from the ACC. Sam Hartman, last year from Wake Forest, and now Riley Leonard. And they have a new offensive coordinator. He was the offensive coordinator at LSU last year with Jaden Daniels. So a bit of a similar skill set. Maybe it's not the exact same body type and all that, but we saw Jaden Daniels have an amazing year that went on to him winning the Heisman. And Notre Dame, they have a chance to make a statement right out of the gate.
Yeah,
And it's
got Texas A&M.
Yeah, it's a very interesting matchup, and it's a true road game. Some of these week one games are at a neutral site. That's not the case. They're going down to A&M in their backyard. And so you talk about who's going to have the advantage in that game. Is it Riley Leonard or his old head coach? Because Mike Elko was his head coach at Duke, and he is now the head coach at Texas A&M. And
It's going to be personal.
It has to be personal, right? It's going to be personal. And Mike Elko is a defensive-minded guy, so I can't wait to see how that works out. But I think for Marcus Freeman, you need that one.
Yeah, you do. Like, because I feel like I don't know how that fan base is. Like, I think that they like Marcus. They think he's good, but
Do they love him, though?
yeah, like, this is the chance to really cement yourself, because after this, like, your schedule gets fairly easy until I think y'all play Florida State would be the next big game, which is later down in the season. But get this one. If you get this one, you got the world talking about Notre Dame might be back.
That Florida State game you're talking about is November 9th, and that game is at home. I mean, they have, in the month of September, they go on the road once. So it's Northern Illinois, week 2, and then week 3 they go to Purdue, and then right after that, it is 3 straight home games for them. So to your point, you get that Texas A&M win, especially on the road in a hostile environment with the world watching, because it's a primetime slot.
That 12 man down there, serious.
I believe it.
It's serious.
I believe it. I absolutely believe it. Here's what intrigues me, and I want to talk about the Heisman for a second. because I want to get your feel on a guy that I think really is in line for a big year. And I think it's Jalen Milroe.
Okay, I like that.
I think it's Jalen Milroe. I think with Kalen DeBoer taking over as the head coach. Now, massive shoes to fill. They always say, right, you never want to be the guy that follows the guy. You want to be the guy that follows the guy that followed the guy. And so Kalen DeBoer is going to be very interesting to see how he handles this. But Jalen Milroe last year, remember, he went through some adversity.
At the beginning of the year,
he got benched.
Yeah.
And then he came back.
He
looked electric.
Where did he finish in the Heisman?
That's a great question. I don't remember.
He was like top 5.
I think he even hit the pose on us one game. And after, one of those games, I thought he did late in the year. But here's where I like. You're talking about a head coach coming in that runs an explosive offense, right? We saw that last year with the Dunze and Penix and McMillan and Polk and the whole game. And so Jalen Milroe was one of the best quarterbacks at pushing the ball downfield last year. I got questions about what he could do with some of the intermediate throws and all that. But I think collectively, his numbers this year are going to look really good. And I'm curious, that marriage, are they going to be able to hit the ground running? Is it going to be a smooth transition between Milroe and Kalen DeBoer down there in Tuscaloosa? Because he's one of my favorite Heisman picks right now. He's 12-1, so he's not a sleeper by any means. But I just think amongst Dylan Gabriel, Carson Beck, Quinn Ewers, and Jalen Milroe, I like that he's going to have explosive plays through the air, and I think a healthy amount of rushing yards to go with it as well.
I mean, obviously he's going to get the rush yard. My only thing for him is if he's going to be like a Michael Penix, did that type of offense with that explosiveness. Well, Michael Penix has some really good wide receivers. He had like 3 NFL wide receivers on his team.
That's real.
I don't know what Alabama's wide receiver. I mean, at the time, they was putting them out first round. I don't know who they have anymore.
That's fair.
I don't know who they got.
Well, what hurt them this offseason was one of their best wide receivers, and Isaiah Bond transferred to Texas. He's now at Texas. So you bring up a fair point. Like, as far as the playmakers go, those names are not yet household names.
Correct.
And so I'm just focusing in on his individual talent, but you're right to bring that up.
It would help his benefit if he goes out there and still puts numbers up with these guys that we can't even identify at this very moment.
Right.
Yes, he wins the Heisman.
Fun game I can't wait to see in the middle of September is when they come up to Madison and they take on Fick in Wisconsin.
I wish it would have been a little bit later.
A little chilly in there.
I just wanted to see.
I know.
I just wanted to see what happened.
No, that's fair. That's absolutely fair. So for them, it will be at Wisconsin, and then they get a bye week, and then they host Georgia. So I just wanted to throw Jalen Milroe out there. And then for me, it's like, last one, Clemson. Where are we at with Clemson, and are they just completely done being national championship contenders? It's a good program, but they were a great program for a while.
Yeah.
And so this year, like, this is, I think, the do or die year. And I know Dabo's throwing it out there. Hey, we're keeping guys. We're retaining talent. Nobody's leaving, yada, yada, yada. But that brand, at one point in time, it was Bama, Ohio State, Clemson. Like, those were, and now.
It's because Trevor Lawrence left. Once Trevor left,
it's over.
It kind of.
They had that run. Was it Taj Boyd, Deshaun, and Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah.
And then in there it was Sammy Watkins and Mike Williams and just DeAndre Hopkins. And it's been relatively quiet. So I'm very curious to see what Dabo and company cooks up down there in Clemson's neck of the woods. Coming up, captains for this year's Buckeye team. Those were announced this weekend. We'll tell you who and which captain we think is most important to this year's squad's success. That's next. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
If the sound of another man slammed against plexiglass turns you on, you've come to the right place. Proud to be your home for Jackets hockey. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Direct auto insurance is for uncompromisers. Like Matt. When his old car insurance got so expensive, do you think he walked until his sneakers wore out? No, because he found savings with Direct Auto so he could drive instead of compromise. With savings of up to 25% on state minimum coverage, you too can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a free quote at directauto.com or a store near you. Savings vary, terms apply. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
One thing about us parents, we think we know what's in, but we're usually way off. That's why I take my kids to Great Clips for back-to-school haircuts. From fresh fades to beachy waves, they can use the online lookbook to find the cuts they want at prices I can't resist. Plus, with convenient online check-in, we save tons of time, too. I may never know what's cool again, but hey, with back-to-school haircuts at Great Clips, I don't have to. Download the app today. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
Hey, it's Bobby. When it comes to tackling a project as important as your roof, you want a company that cares about the product and experience they're going to deliver. At Newman Roofing, you're more than just a number. They believe in 100% customer satisfaction. And for your roofing needs, give them a call at 614-NEW-ROOF or newmanroofing.com.
By the time you're finished listening to this Pepsi Zero Sugar, you'll be 15 seconds closer to kickoff. Stock up now. Bengals game day is so close, you can almost taste it. Bengals watching. Better with Pepsi.
Hey, it's Anthony here from my friends at Germain Honda of Dublin. Rich is rolling out all of his new Hondas at 2.9% up to 60 months. Just not including the Civic Si and Civic Type R, but all the other awesome new Hondas, 2.9%. You love certified? He has the dream deal. 0.99% APR for 36 months on the 23s and 24s, Civics, HRVs, CRVs, pilots, and passports. When you think Honda, you have to visit Germain Honda of Dublin, Sawmill Road, just south of 270.
Hi, here are some ways to listen to The Fan. You can download the Fan app or listen at home on your smart speaker or open up the iHeartRadio app or hold your head out the window and hear Common Man scream. Happy listening from the dopes at The Fan.
Hey, it's Anthony for the Good Feet store. 3 words for me, pain-free summer. Spent probably 30 hours walking around the Memorial Tournament and felt awesome with my personal arch supports from the Good Feet store in my everyday kicks. Sure, every now and then we all get random foot pain from pickleball or golf or just being a human being. Having my personally fit arch supports in my shoes has made a massive difference. And even right after I put them in, didn't take long to feel much more supported and aligned, and it's so easy to just move them into any pair. Before I had them, I dreaded being on my feet for any length of time. Well, you have nothing to lose but the pain, as they say. It's a free fitting and test walk. Try them for yourself. See the difference it can make. It did for me. And best of all, you can wear them home. 2 locations on Polaris Parkway and Stringtown Road, or schedule an appointment at goodfeet.com. The Good Feet store, America's arch supports experts.
Healthcare.gov is here for you when life happens. If you lost your health coverage because of turning 26, going off Medicaid, leaving your job, or moving, you could be eligible to enroll in new coverage now. And if you need to update your coverage because of marriage or having a baby, you could also be eligible. But don't wait. There's a limited time to enroll. Check your eligibility at healthcare.gov today. Life happens. Get covered. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Trust. Not everyone deserves it. Not everyone should have it. It needs to be earned. Your trust. And when it comes to accurate information about Ohio's safe and secure elections, where should you turn? VoteOhio.gov. VoteOhio.gov is the source for providing you with the facts and real information about elections. So no matter where you are, what you do, or who you choose, get the real facts about Ohio's elections. VoteOhio.gov, your trusted elections source. Sponsored by the Ohio Secretary of State, Frank LaRose.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Skies are a little cloudy for now, but we do have some sunshine in store later this afternoon. Temperatures today rise back into the 70s. Columbus hitting 77 degrees, staying cool and comfortable today. Tonight, lows back in the 60s. I'm meteorologist Madison Reich with your weather impact forecast on The Fan.
Bet365 is the exclusive online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
You're listening to Rothman and Ice, the #1 rated midday show in Columbus.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
And with that, we welcome you back in. This is Rothman and Ice. I'm Matty Ice. Tyvis Powell, the former Buckeye and national champion, is in the house. Tyvis, I feel like I owe you an apology.
Why?
Because I was so hell-bent on selling you that football season has arrived that I didn't even ask you, how was your weekend? Like, did we get into anything? I apologize. I jumped the gun.
My weekend was all right. Obviously, I had to do the Browns on Saturday, and that as I sit here and watch it back, it's dark times right now. It's not a good feeling up there right now, and they got to figure some things out. Sunday, I spent some time with the family, but I got home and I played a little 2K, and I had this into this, all right, because this is sad, okay? If you know me, you know that I'm really, really good at 2K. Like, on my player, like I play either center or point guard, but when I play point guard, I'm probably the best person in the world. And I'm not, I know people listen to like, oh, everybody say, no, seriously, I'm really that good. And one of my friends tell me that he doesn't like playing with me. And I say, what kind of stuff is that? Like
on the same team with you? I got you.
Like,
okay.
He said it's too much pressure. He said that when he plays with me, he feels like we have to win every game. And he said I want to just have fun. And I say, winning is fun. Like where did we get in a society where you're not competitive no more? Like this is
a video game.
This is the way I can't go out and play football no more. So this is the way that I still be competitive.
I think I'm with your boy on this, right?
Are you serious?
Because here's where I'm at.
What's wrong with you?
If there's no coin on the line,
wow.
Then I'm emotionally invested.
You don't. What
if
about
we're playing for money?
Listen, you ever watch Pokemon?
No, I used to have Pokemon cards as a kid, but I don't watch Pokemon.
You never like heard. Listen, the theme song is the way I live my life.
Okay, sing it for us.
I want to be the very best that no one ever was. That's how you feel about 2K. That's how I feel about life. Like, I just feel like if I'm going to do it, I'm going to be the best at it, okay? And yes, listen, I went straight, what's the dude that coached for Herm Edwards? Hello? You play to win. Like, what are you talking about? That's too much pressure.
Man.
Unbelievable.
Listen,
I need some new friends.
I'm with your boy on this. I think if we're just playing the game, let's just play the game unless we absolutely have some money on the line.
Don't play. Hello? Don't play with me, then, because we win in that game. You can get out the way. I go full Kobe Bryant. Get out the way.
You know who's identified some winners?
Who?
That's everybody over at the Woody Hayes facility because we got captains.
Yes, we do.
We got captains named, and congrats to these 4 gentlemen: Emeka Buka, Travion Henderson, Jack Sawyer, and Cody Simon. Those are your captains for this year. A massive year on deck for Ohio State. We've been talking about it for months. I cannot wait for next week to get here. Next Saturday at 3:30, they'll kick this thing off against the Akron Zips. But anybody you want to talk about on this list, a guy that you believe may be a critical piece, they're all critical, but when we start to have these conversations, you're splitting hairs. But we like to have these conversations around here. So if I pose this to you, of the 4 captains, who do you think is one of the most important pieces of the 4 when you talk about what they are going to mean to this year's team?
I'm looking at Jack Sawyer.
Yeah, that's what I picked too. Seriously,
well,
that's
if
what
you
I picked
want to go
too.
there, then
no, because I agree with you. This is the guy I picked.
Because with the other ones, with Emeka, he's underrated to the national world.
Correct.
Right? He's going to do his thing. Like, this is his last year. He got a chance to break a record. He's going to be locked in. I'm not worried about him.
He's going to ball.
Cody Simon, if you know Cody Simon, if you ever talked to Cody Simon, which I just seen him yesterday, if you ever talk to this guy, he's always locked in. Like, he's on it. Like, that guy, I trust him to run that defense. I'm not worried about nothing. He's going to make sure everybody's lined up. Everybody's supposed to be where they're supposed to be. But when I look at Jack Sawyer, and I just think about the lack of pass rush that we've had for the past couple of years. Like, don't get me wrong. He had his game in the Cotton Bowl where he went absolutely insane.
Last couple games of the year for him were good
absolutely insane.
Back end of the year, yeah.
But I need to see that the problem with the D-line in the past couple of years is that it hasn't been consistent. We see them do it once, and then it takes like 3 to 4 weeks, and then we'll see it again. I need that consistent pass rush every game. Yeah. If you go, I need a game record. Where is the game record? The guy that would make the OC say, we can't do nothing. Like, we can't run it to his side. We can't pass because we can't block him. That's what we need. If we get that, this team they're walking to the natty. Like, they're walking to the natty.
I completely agree with you because we talk a lot about AFC North football around here. You know that if your team sees the Browns or the Steelers on the schedule, and even the Bengals with Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah.
There's going to be 3 to 4 plays in that game to where one of those 3 men, they're going to wreck the game.
Yes.
They're going to wreck the game. And if it's not a strip sack, if it's not a big hit, it's going to be pressure, constant pressure to where our offense does not have a whole bunch of time.
Yeah.
And so to your point, I'm so excited to see the back end of this defense and what they're going to be. That's your expertise. you're excited about that unit as well.
The secondary this year, they leading the country. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
BIA.
They like that. They not messing around this year.
Yeah, it looks like
I done talked to them. I'd have been over in the building. Listen, they locked in. They ready to go. I'm expecting a great season out of that secondary this year.
And when you talk about the experience that they're bringing back, and a guy like Jermaine Matthews that got experience last year, that is probably going to be a rotational piece, but that's a luxury to have, right? Is that young guy that can play at a high level. But the guys that are going to be out there more times than not, I'm with you. That unit's going to be lights out. So to your point about if you pair together an elite pass rush with a lockdown secondary, this defense is going to be scary.
There's nothing you can do.
Nothing you can do. And on the second level, it seems like we're going to have, a four-man rotation.
Yeah, Cody, Sonny, CJ, and Arvell Reese.
Who's been getting a lot of love recently.
Hey.
He's been getting a lot of love here recently.
I weigh more than him. I was upset about that yesterday.
Well, let me play this for Jim Knowles, because here's Jim Knowles talking about Arvell Reese.
Yeah, I think he can help. Arvell has made great strides since he's been here. And when he's on the attack and he's playing downhill, he's really as good as anybody. He makes plays. Now there's a lot that goes into, right now he's working at the Mike linebacker, there's a lot that goes into that. There's a lot of details of the game and formations and checks, and he's constantly getting better at that. But when he's on the attack, he's really good.
So while you have a bit of inexperience there with, Sonny and CJ and Arvell, it seems like they're very confident that those three guys plus Cody are going to be able to go out there and hit you with a consistent product coming from the second level this year.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at it, like I said, Cody's one of those guys that I don't think can come off the field. I think that the other linebacker pieces can be rotated and you're confident because you know that they have the talent to do something. Everybody that touches that field has a special talent to either pass rush, great in coverage, great run stopper, something like that.
Yep.
And you don't worry about them being lined up because that's Cody's responsibility. Cody's going to be out there. Cody's going to say, hey, he's actually going to talk. Hey, this is what you got. Look, 22 on the back. I got him. If he go out your way, you take him.
And he'll have the green dot, right?
Yeah, I'm sure he will. I'm sure either him or Caleb Downs, one of those two will have it. Yeah. But I think that's why I feel like we will see a lot of them get some experience in there because we don't know. Is this Cody's last year?
I think.
I can't remember. Sure. I feel like he's been here for quite some time.
It's been a minute.
If it ain't, he definitely knocking on it. But anyways, you got to get these young guys some experience and get them on the field. Yeah. Like I said, it's too much talent to let them just sit back. And I think you made that mistake when you had Tommy and Steele. You were so dependent on those two that you never really got the younger guys reps. So especially early on in these first couple of games, definitely get them out on the field and let them go through football stuff.
Doug Lesmerises from the Kings of the North podcast will hop on next to talk all things Ohio State football. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
Head to 971thefan.com to listen on demand and subscribe to all our podcasts. Wasting time has never been easier. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Common Man here for Universal Windows Direct. Football season is here, and you know what that means. Fall is just around the corner. Cooler temperatures on the way. If you've been dealing with drafty windows all summer, struggling on those crazy hot days, your AC just can't keep up, now is the perfect time to upgrade with Universal Windows Direct. Call them today, 614-502-5220. For every 2 windows you buy, you get 2 free. Plus 0% financing for 60 months. Restrictions apply because they always do. Go to UWD.com. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Get Eco.
ECO. Hey, Aaron. Hey, Jerry. You seem pretty happy this morning. I invented a song. Songwriters have an actual word for inventing a song. Everything we want people to know about Eco. Ready? Can't wait. Get Eco. G-E-T-E-C-O. Get Eco. They can really go. Get Eco. For your Cinco. Fix in a blinko. You'll think-o. Hooray. Get Eco. G-E-T-E-C-O. Get Eco. You'll be cool like snow. Get Eco. Like a nice Rico. Puerto Rico. Get Eco today. What do you think? We don't serve Puerto Rico, right? I do know that. I mean, the drive alone from Ohio is like, geez. Way too far. But you ran out of rhymes for Eco? You gotta admit, the rest is pretty catchy. Oh, it's earworming already.
Get Eco.
ECO. As is that thing.
Menards is your destination for concrete landscaping blocks. We have the largest in-stock selection at the lowest prices. Ready to take home today. Plus, you can get free estimates fast using our landscape design programs in-store or on Menards.com. Save big on concrete landscaping blocks right now at Menards. View the weekly flyer and all of our great deals happening this week in-store or on Menards.com.
Save big money at Menards.
Morning Juice.
They may suspend Sherrone Moore. They could potentially have some sort of postseason ban, but I don't think it's going to be something crazy egregious.
Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Affinity Whole Health.
Weekday mornings at 6. The Fan.
Hey guys, Chaps here with a new opportunity for you. The 20-pound summer slim down with Awaken 180 weight loss. Dropping 20 pounds before summer ends. Cruising to your goal of 30, 40, 50 plus pounds down. It's simple. You take the last few weeks of summer, eating, drinking, enjoying the weather. But the difference? You're doing it with the 20-pound summer slim down. But Chopper, summer's almost over. That's the point, guys. The pounds melt off fast with Awaken 180. I dropped my first 20 in less time, and that easy 20 propelled me to reach my goal of losing 60 pounds. Then that propelled me to lose another 35. Think about it. You're about to slide back into the same old fall routine with the same old mindset. Mix it up. Live up the rest of your summer while dropping your first 20, then jump into fall with a whole new groove. Yeah, I said groove. You'll be saying it too just a few weeks from now. 20 pounds summer slim down with the solution for weight loss online at awaken180weightloss.com. That's awaken180weightloss.com.
You know, as they say, one person's personal information is another person's treasure.
Exactly. That's why I use NordVPN every time I surf the web. Features like Threat Protection Pro's safeguard devices from phishing websites and disable intrusive ads and trackers. Just check NordVPN.com, grab the deal, and see for yourself. NordVPN. Cybersecurity built for every day.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Their live golf team name is Ice Dogs. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Welcome back in. Matty Ice, Tyvis Powell, the former Buckeye national champion, in the house today. Going to light up the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline right now. Bring on our guy, Doug Lesmerises, Kings of the North podcast. Does a great job and has been doing a great job for years covering Ohio State football. Doug, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Good, good. Appreciate you asking. Let's get down to it. I know season starts next week. What is a question mark that's still on the board for you as far as the construction of this team, maybe a unit where you look at it and say, still a little bit of a gray area in my eye? Where are you at with that?
It is not a lot, right? I think going into camp for everybody was probably offensive line and quarterback. It feels like Will Howard had a good camp, won that job convincingly. That's good. Feels like the reviews of the offensive line have been really good from everybody, including the defenders going against them. That's good. Maybe a little bit of tight end. That was the one thing I asked Ryan Day about last week. You know, between G. Scott and Kazmarek coming in and the development of Jelani Thurman, I know they like to go 12 personnel and put 2 tight ends on the field sometimes, so they feel like they'll be able to do that. You know, it felt like Ryan Day really likes the potential of Jelani Thurman, but he's got to come along a little bit. But, I mean, there's not a lot, right? They got to find a punter, but they have 3 options. Like, when you're talking about, like, you got to figure out who the punter is, your team's in pretty good shape. So I don't know that anybody has very many questions about Ohio State right now. It's just a matter of them playing their best in the games that matter most because it feels like they have everything they need.
Doug, when you look at this offensive line, there was like an illness that's been going around where a lot of guys have been missing days in camp and kind of in and out of that lineup for the starting offensive line. You know, do you think that makes them start off slow maybe against Akron, or do you think it plays any long-term effect on that offensive line during this season?
Yeah, I think if they were playing more young guys, it might matter more. You know, Seth McLaughlin at center has been around for a long time, and I think he hasn't been as sick as other guys. So even though he's coming in from Alabama, like, he knows what's up. And Donovan Jackson's been doing it forever, and Josh Simmons is a second-year starter now. Like, I think a year ago, right, when Donovan Jackson is playing between Carson Hinsman at center and Josh Simmons at left tackle, and they're both very new to this, completely new to this as Ohio State Buckeyes, that would have been more of a deal, I think. I think 4 of the 5 guys have done this at a high level, and then it's just finding the right guard spot. But again, the reviews on Tegra Shabola have been good, and it feels like he sort of sees the opportunity there. So, it's not ideal, but I don't think it will slow them down as much as it maybe would have a year ago.
Doug Lesmerises, Kings of the North podcast, joining us here on The Fan, talking all things Ohio State football. Doug, I want to ask you about Brandon Ennis and Carnell Tate. It's been the offseason of Jeremiah Smith. Seems like this young guy's ready to hit the ground running. But between those two guys, what is your expectation level for Brandon and Carnell, what they could bring to the field this season?
Yeah, we're all nuts, right? We all do this. A year ago, Carnell Tate, it was like, oh, man, like, we were asking about Carnell Tate every week. When's Carnell Tate going to get on the field? Carnell Tate help Ohio State by the Michigan game. Man, Carnell Tate's so good. And now Jeremiah Smith comes in. And a guy like Carnell Tate is, he's not the veteran 1,000-yard receiver that Emeka Egbuka is. He's not the new kid on the block like Jeremiah Smith. And it's like, oh, yeah, Carnell Tate. Carnell Tate might be awesome. Like, I think I'm super curious to see how the receptions get divvied up, the way defenses play these guys, how much they throw the ball versus how much they're going to run the ball. With 2 running backs and a quarterback who can move a little bit. So I am very curious about the way the Ohio State offense wants to go about this. But I really feel like Carnell Tate a couple times a game might do something that people are like, oh, yeah, no, we love Carnell Tate. So I think that is absolutely out there for him. And then I think Brandon Ennis, right, all good reviews, and just like Velcro yourself to Emeka Egbuka and be ready to be that next year. And if you can help now, great. But I do think sometimes we get, excited about like a 4th receiver, and it's like, man, there's only so many spots in the field, especially if they want to go 12 personnel sometimes. So I think Brandon Ennis, everybody does, is going to be great. But I think Carnell Tate might be the guy who has a chance to show it more this year.
Doug, let's go to the linebacker room. When you look at that wheel position right now, it's kind of between Sonny Styles and C.J. Hicks. Which one of them are you more comfortable with being the starter, and why?
This is like I call this hashtag too many good players. Like, which 5-star should play more? Doesn't it hurt your heart a little bit? Like, how can C.J. Hicks and Sonny Styles in their 3rd season not both be on the field all the time? But they can't be, because this is where this Ohio State defense is. It feels like Sonny Styles is just something special, and I think almost everybody was in agreement that he's more of a linebacker than he is a safety. I was asking him questions about playing linebacker last year. Everybody was. All of our guys, that cover the team were thinking this. So I think you just want to see every opportunity for Sonny Styles with a bunch of veteran guys around him to just go blow people up, do what you need to do. You have guys like Cody Simon and Lathan Ransom and Caleb Downs around him that'll be like, we got this, like, go make plays. So, like, I'm so enthused and curious about Sonny Styles doing that. And then I do hope maybe C.J. Hicks in a little bit of a pass rush situation on 3rd down. You take a defensive tackle off the field and get him on the field. Like, in situational things, I think that's a real possibility. But again, and then stuff always happens, right? You think like, oh my gosh, they have too many guys, who's going to play? And then unfortunately, the realities of football set in, and something will happen probably somewhere, and maybe you do wind up seeing them on the field together a lot. But Sonny is the guy that I think everybody really wants to see out there doing his thing at linebacker.
I want to hit you up about the D-line, specifically the interior of the defensive line. You got the veteran presence on the outside with JT and Jack, but talk to us about your opinion about the depth that they may have or may not have on the interior of that unit.
Yeah, I mean, I think, Ryan Day was using the word flash a lot, like Hero Kanu as a guy who has flashed at times. I think Caden McDonald is a guy that a lot of people are excited about. So I kind of like those things. I mean, teams, when you have a team that has some veteran guys, and Tyleik Williams is a an All-American candidate, and Ty Hamilton is just the next in line of the Hamilton family who just comes in and does his job and doesn't get a ton of accolades, but is a guy you can rely on. So if they're your top two defensive tackles, and then you have two younger guys, McDonald and Canu, who have flash ability, and so maybe they don't have to play 50 snaps a game. They can play 25 snaps a game, but get in there and make their presence felt. Like I like that kind of mix of reliable older guys, young, because when coaches say flash, that just means they want more consistency. But, I like a young guy who flashes. It's like, all right, well, maybe make two plays a game that can really impact it. And the rest of the time, you're learning, but we got the older guys for that. So as usual, they'll rotate, but I think there has a chance to be a good mix on the inside there.
Who has the bigger impact on their side of the ball? Caleb Downs on defense, Quinshon Judkins offense.
Oh my God.
I know.
Come on, Tyvis, you're killing me, man. So it's like from the minute that I heard Caleb Downs sort of talk about football when he got to Ohio State, like the comparison for me has been C.J. Stroud. Like he's C.J. Stroud on defense. And that to me is like the highest compliment you can have, that you have a tremendous understanding of the game. Your brain is your biggest weapon. You are in the film room. You know what's going to happen before it happens. You are supremely talented and constantly grinding. And so if Caleb Downs is that, that has a chance to be some combination of, the best of Ohio State players that we've seen, that the way Malik Hooker made plays at safety, or the way that, Ryan Shazier made plays at linebacker. Like, I just think of some of the most impactful, like, I can't believe that guy made that play kind of OSU defenders. And it feels like Caleb Downs has a chance to be that kind of guy. So I think I might pick Caleb Downs over anything. It's like Caleb Downs versus landing a man on the moon. What's a bigger deal? It's like Caleb Downs coming to Ohio State's a bigger deal than landing a man on the moon. Like Caleb Downs is the answer to everything right now. But also, Quinshon Judkins might have like 25 touchdowns. So it's an impossible question, Tyvis, but I think I'll lean Caleb on anything.
Quickly, Doug, before we let you go, any clarity coming out of the weekend on the quarterback 2 race, I guess? Is that fair to call it that, between Devin and Julian? What's your understanding of maybe what happened at the scrimmage between those two guys?
Yeah, I have no more clarity on that, but can I answer this with the thing? We're not getting ahead of ourselves, right? We have a huge 2024 season ahead for Ohio State football. All the fans should be excited. We all know that the opening game of the 2025 season is Arch Manning in Texas versus Julian Sand in Ohio State, right? Like, that's the opener next year, and we're not going there, but like, probably maybe Devin Brown for now, maybe Julian Sand by the end of the year, but nobody is getting ahead of 2024. But I just am planting that seed in the back of everybody's mind. It's going to blow the roof off college football a year from now when we're talking about Manning versus Sand in week 1.
I'm here for it. I'm absolutely here for it. He does a great job covering Ohio State football. Kings of the North podcast. That's where you can find some of his work. He's Doug Lesmerises. Doug, we always appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thanks for having me, fellas.
We do it every Monday, and we will do it next. It's time to party like a Rothstar. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
Common Man has spent the past 18 years telling you how much he hates people. And yes, that probably means you, too. Common Man and T-Bone.
Weekdays at 3.
The Fan.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here from my friends at High Bank Distillery Co., located right here in Columbus. Introducing their newest product, 614 Vodka, Ohio's house vodka. Perfect to make a drink at home or try when you're out at your favorite local restaurant. Learn more at 614vodka.com.
Nothing makes being outdoors better than having the right gear and the right crew. So here's an idea. Let Mountain Dew supply the gear and you bring the friends. Because when you buy specially marked multi-packs of Mountain Dew, you can collect points and earn epic limited edition outdoor gear. We're talking everything from custom Mountain Dew camp chairs and backpack coolers to exclusive Mountain Dew tents, fishing boats, and more. So buy Dew, collect points, get gear, and get outside with Mountain Dew outdoor gear.
Open to legal U.S. residents 18+, subject to program terms at dewoutdoors.com and 12/31/24, void or prohibited.
Common Man here for Care Heating and Cooling. Weather is unpredictable, but the inside of your home should be comfortable just the way you like it. And the best way to avoid those unnecessary surprises is with a care plan. See, with a care plan, you get priority service, system maintenance in case of an emergency. Just another way to give you and your family peace of mind. And maintaining your systems properly can help save you money. A properly maintained furnace and air conditioner run more efficiently, reducing your utility usage. Regular maintenance also prevents breakdowns and extends the life of your equipment. I'm on the care plan, and I'm quite the expert. I'll stop by and give your system a once-over. I will. Don't tempt me. I end every commercial the same way, telling you to hire Care when you need a company you can trust. It's not just a slogan. That's the Care creed. How about this? Lennox. They have thousands of dealers nationwide. HVAC royalty. Last year, Lennox gave Care their coveted Partner of the Year award because they're trusted by their customers and their partners. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING or book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com when you need a company you can trust.
Hi, this is Ron from the Good Feet store. Are you standing on painful feet all day? Don't lose hope. We want to help you live without pain. Discover your option and visit goodfeet.com.
If you have an unhealthy obsession with the Blue Jackets, we have just the remedy. Join us Wednesday nights at 7 for the Inside Edge. All the Jackets and hockey conversation you can handle. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
You know that thing you've always been too scared to go for? It seems like you'll never have the guts. Then a cancer diagnosis. And doing that thing becomes way less scary. I would know. I've always wanted a black belt. And today, the only thing standing in my way is a few wooden boards. It's been a lot of hard work and 5 years since I beat cancer at Ohio Health. Bring it on. You keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keep making plans to learn more.
Wake up. Breakfast. And Nature Made vitamins. Whatever your morning sounds like, Nature Made fits right in. Whether you're looking for vitamin C or a multivitamin to get key nutrients, we've got you covered. Now that's a good morning. We take care of you so you can take on your day. Start your day with Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin. Hey, good morning. You're heading to the airport, right?
Yep, thanks for checking. I like the car. How long have you been a rideshare driver?
About 3 years now, but I really enjoy it.
Isn't it hard to make money these days with the price of gas being so high?
Not for me. I use Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app?
Yep, I get real cash back every time I get gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code LEARN for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code LEARN for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code LEARN.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Let's all gather into the Kiki. It's time to party like a Rothstar.
All right, Tyvis. Matty Ice, Tyvis Powell in the house today. TP filling in for AR.
All right.
You're the guest, man. So you know what we like to do. I'm going to put you in the leadoff spot in the lineup right now. You're going to lead this thing off. What we got?
So I'm going to go somewhere that I never thought that I would go. I'm going to start with the NFL because that's my sport. Okay. But I'm going to pick a player that I never thought that I would say this. But he did his thing, and I give credit where credit's due, as you know. I'm going down to Duval. Mac Jones.
Wait a minute. What did he do?
Mac Jones, he went 16 for 23, 210 yards, 2 tutties.
Okay.
They won 20-7. I know it's the preseason, but I'm just saying. The man look good.
All right. He's in a good position. He can lay low for a little bit of time, maybe come out on the other side. We've seen this scenario play out for a couple quarterbacks. Geno Smith, Baker Mayfield. Big time, draft picks coming out of college. Didn't work at your first stop. You never know.
Hey.
You never know.
It's all about opportunities and the right fits.
I'm starting with a quarterback as well.
Okay.
And I'm starting with a quarterback that was born on May 16th, 1996, out of Flowood, Mississippi.
Why did you know that, first of all?
I looked it up earlier. But I'm going with Gardner Minshew.
Uh-oh. Little shimmy?
Unfortunately, your Brownie hat got a heavy dose of the shimmy last year over at Indy. I know that was tough. But we found out this weekend, Tyvis, that Gardner Minshew is going to be the starter for the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yes.
I just got done talking about, the potential journey that a guy like Mac Jones could have. I mean, you talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's where Gardner Minshew was drafted back in 2019. He was a 6th-round pick, journeyman for a little bit of time. Got some spot starts here or there. Because of what he did in Indy last year, Vegas looked at him and said, you know what? Let's hit him with 2 years and $25 million. Mm-hmm. So he had to battle it out against a former Purdue Boilermaker in Aiden O'Connell, and now he's the guy. And now you look around him, and the weaponry, it's not bad. It's not bad when you talk about Devontae Adams, who I know is aging but still has some good ball left in him. Don't sleep on the year Jacoby Myers had last year as a number 2.
Productive.
And you go draft Brock Bowers.
And you got Michael Mayer.
Right, Michael Mayer from Notre Dame.
Yeah.
So he's got a solid foundation around him. They're in a tough division. We know the Night King, Pat Mahomes. They're the gatekeepers in the AFC West. But Gardner Minshew, got to give him some love for winning that job. Got himself a nice little contract this offseason.
Did he have to win it, though?
Well, I mean, that's what they told us.
If you're paying $25 million.
Follow the money.
Yeah, stop it.
Follow the money. But regardless, he's the guy. Gardner Minshew, partying like a Rothstar.
Love that pick, but I'm going to stay right there with the black and silver. But I'm going to the W with this one.
The WNBA.
Come on now. A'ja Wilson, probably the best woman basketball player I've seen since Maya Moore. No, since Maya Moore.
Okay.
Maya Moore to me was like my GOAT for like the WNBA. She was just she was something else.
An amazing story off the court too.
Yes. But A'ja Wilson, 34 points, 13 rebounds. Unstoppable, completely dominant. They won 87-71 over the Spark last night. It's hard to argue somebody's better than her right now.
She's incredible.
She is.
She's absolutely incredible. Had that performance, just a week or two ago, we watched her bring home gold in the Olympics as well. She's a baller. Second guy for me. I'm going to baseball.
Okay.
And I got to talk about Gunnar Henderson.
No.
Gunnar Henderson, shortstop for the Baltimore Orioles, Montgomery, Alabama, born and raised. Look that up, too, for you. This dude is just ridiculous, Tyvis. 4 home runs over his last 5 games. From the shortstop position, you're not supposed to get 35 to 40 home runs, and that's what he's going to bring to the table this year for the Baltimore Orioles. His line at the moment, he's batting .288, 33 home runs, which is 6th in the league, and he's got 77 RBIs. The Orioles, they've been duking it out and will be duking it out in the coming weeks with the Yankees to take home the AL East crown. But between the guy that's in your division and Bobby Witt, who came to Cincinnati and, they put it on us this weekend. And this guy, Gunnar Henderson, I mean, you're talking about, you remember the juice that was around the sport where we had Jeter and A-Rod and Nomar Garciaparra?
Yeah.
That's back again with the most premier position in the sport, now elevated because of Gunnar Henderson and Bobby Witt. But Gunnar Henderson is on one right now. He's got lava flowing up and down his bat. I'm going with Gunnar Henderson. 4 home runs over his last 5 games, partying like a Rothstar.
Well, you kind of stole my thunder because you must have knew that for my last person, I was going to Bobby Witt Jr. because that man, I apologize. I feel like every time I get on the show and I pick somebody, it's always against the Reds.
What is that about?
I don't know
what is that about?
I'm so sorry, but he had a game. Listen, Saturday's game.
Yeah.
I mean, not Saturday. Friday's game. Friday's game. He went yard. I think he had 3 hits. Yeah. I think he had 3 hits and he went yard on yard. Then the next game, I think he had a hit. Then the last game, he had a hit. He's leading the MLB in average right now. If it was not for Aaron Judge, he would win MVP. Like it would be his.
He's different. He's different. And
Aaron Judge is just.
He's a mutant.
Yeah,
he's an X-Men.
He's ridiculous. He almost like needs his own separate award.
Like he's 6'7". He plays center field, and he's the best hitter in the game. Like, what do you do with the man? I don't know. But it's okay. You can pick on my Reds because guess what I did on Friday? I actually picked Bobby Witt Jr. to hit a home run on Friday night. So,
Well, you
cashed in on it.
You knew it.
You brought up the WNBA. I'm going to finish mine out, too, with the WNBA.
Okay.
And I'm talking about a former Buckeye and her teammate.
Oh.
Because on ABC yesterday, I was tapped in. Seattle Storm taking on the Indiana Fever, and Kelsey Mitchell was balling.
Listen.
Kelsey Mitchell, 27 points, 3 steals, 3 assists, 10 of 19 from the field, 5 of 8 from the three-point line. And Caitlin Clark, her last 2 games, too, she's been locked in coming out of the break. Last night, 23 points, 9 assists, 5 rebounds. The first game coming back from the Olympic break, 29 points and 10 assists. Yeah. So over her last 2 games, Caitlin Clark, 19 assists. But Kelsey Mitchell, too, she needs some love because she was on one yesterday.
Listen, they let her get that break. She said, I couldn't do the Olympics. I needed a break. Or the shooting competition, I need a break.
Got something for you.
She got that break, and they look like the big 3.
It was
Kelsey, Caitlin, and Aaliyah Boston. That's it right there.
Shout out to the former Buckeye, though, because she looked good yesterday on national TV. Coming up next, one of the best offensive players in Bengals history has weighed in on the Jamar Chase contract situation. You'll hear next. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
Winners of the prestigious Platinum Microphone Award every year, given to the best radio station in the world. No need to look it up. It's real. The Fan.
The Columbus Men's Clinic opened in 2014 for guys who get it done. Let's talk, fellas. You solve problems all day at work. You fix your sink when it's broken. But when it comes to ED and low T, it doesn't get done. We get it. You hate going to the doctor, but you're the guy that fixes things. At the Columbus Men's Clinic, there's nothing to fear and no reason to delay. We've been destroying bedroom boredom for a decade. So if you haven't fixed this, call us. When the pills fail, call us. If you feel like you've tried everything, call us. Here, there's hope. From the conventional to the next level. You'll be seen by our friendly, discreet physician who will take the time to listen. Imagine finally taking care of this with no surgery. Imagine going from feeling gray to living life in vibrant color. It's time to be confident. Join the thousands of guys who have found success after walking through our doors. Will you be one of them? Dial 614-300-7400 or go to ColumbusMen'sClinic.com to schedule a $99 male performance consultation, including blood work. Do it for you. Do it for her. ColumbusMen'sClinic.com. Book your appointment now.
Hey, it's Anthony Rothman for the Bath Authority. It's time to make your bath and shower something you really love. Something so great, your singing in the shower comes from a genuine place of happiness. Don't keep staring at that outdated bath, the mold, the mildew, the broken tiles. Every unit from the Bath Authority is custom built. You choose the premium accents and accessories. Right now, get free installation on your new bath or shower, plus 36 months of 0% interest. Visit thebathauthority.com. That's thebathauthority.com. A better bath awaits.
The greatest stories aren't found in books or films or folk songs. The stories that truly bring us together are found in ESPN Fantasy Football. Stories of late-round love and first-round heartbreak. Tales of Hail Marys and Monday Night Miracles. Chronicles of punishments. Oh, the punishments. Friends growing closer than ever through the power